state government is not having any authority to collect the custom duty or to change. So any export from India is zero rate supply, zero taxable. So if you want to import, then you have to pay the custom duty. Importer is a person who is receiving the goods from other country for the personal consumption or maybe for to sell the products to other. So what it happens, the customers has to bear higher price even though we are getting cheaper materials, good quality materials from other country. Hello my dear students, I am your Ajay sir, faculty, Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Aid College, MYSURU, Temple of Excellence. My dear students, in today's session I am going to handle the subject Indirect Tax 2 for 6th and BCom, and the topic is Customs Duty. My dear students, now what do you mean by customs duty? See, custom duty, we have to understand the concept. See, in export or import, exporting goods to other country or importing goods from other country, the customs of India or the government of India levy some taxes, that is called as customs duty. So custom duty is collected on imports and exports. It may be export of the goods or import of the foreign goods. Then we have to collect the customs duty. In India, the power to make laws on custom duty rests with central government. The state government is not having any authority to collect the custom duty or to change or make any changes in the custom duty. Only central government is having the rights to change or it may be alter or it may be levy the custom duty. The recipient of revenue from the custom duty belongs to the central government only. The central government will not share any revenue from the custom duty with the state government. So it will be utilized in the central government only. Next point, meaning and scope of custom duty. First one, custom duty is levied on goods imported in or exported from India. As per GST Act 2017, all exports outside India are zero rated supplies. So in order to encourage export from India, in order to bring the balance of payment, deficit in the balance of payment, so our country is encouraging exports. So and also we are charging zero custom duty for all exports, zero custom duty for all export, but we are charging more custom duty on import. So in order to discourage the import of the goods from other country, encourage the export of goods, discourage importing and encourage exporting. In order to do this, so the government of India has made zero rated supplies. So any export from India is zero rate supply, zero taxable. So if you want to import, then you have to pay the custom duty. So in India, customs law is governed by the following acts. What are those? First one, the Customs Act 1962 and also Custom Tariff Act 1975, customs rules, customs regulations and notification of the central government as and when required. As and when required, the central government provides the notification. So on these rules, regulation, custom duty is regulated in our country. Next point, definitions of under section 2. What are the important definitions? You have to understand. First one, conveyance. Conveyance means this is the vessels or any other mode of transportation to transfer or transport the goods from one place to another place. So this includes vessels by sea, aircraft by air and vehicles by land. Next one, customs area. What are the customs area? Which areas comes under customs duty? Preview or any customs stations or area which goods are kept prior to the clearance. Warehouses could be one example. For example, customs area where we store the goods before clearing, that is called as customs area. For example, ports, it may be airport or it may be seaport or it may be warehouse. Nearby, through land we import the goods or export the goods. So we have to store those goods before exporting and importing. That area is called as custom area. Next one, custom stations. So any customs port including the inland customs depot or customs airport or land customs station. See, this includes the customs station. Next one, import. So bringing into India from place outside India. If you import any goods, so if we are bringing any goods from other country, then it is called as import for the business purpose. Now imported goods means any goods brought in India from the place outside India but does not include goods which have been cleared from the home consumption. So which is not included. Imported goods means where we are bringing the goods but not for the consumption of our people, our home consumption. Only in order to export the goods, we are bringing the goods. Imported goods means we are importing goods from America, again we will and export the goods to Bangladesh or Pakistan or any other country. Then it is called as imported goods. Next point, importer. Who is called as importer? So importer in relation to any goods at any time between their importation and the time when they are cleared for home consumption includes any owner or any person holding himself out to be the importer. Importer is a person who receiving the goods from other country. Importer is a person who is receiving the goods from other country for the personal consumption or maybe for to sell the products to others. This is called as importer. Next point, prohibited goods under section 2 subsection 33. What do you mean by prohibited goods? In order to avoid some bad things happen in our country or maybe any mischievous activity, any fraudulent activity, in order to avoid these things on the basis of health of our citizens, it may be drugs and all. So the government has prohibited to import some goods, that is called as prohibition. So there is a restrictions to import some goods from other country, then it is called as prohibited goods. What are the prohibited goods? So any goods, the import or export of which is prohibited by the Customs Act or any law for the time being in force. So what do you mean by that? So because for some times government may prohibit the goods, but for lifetime the government may prohibit the goods or for importing and from exporting also, in order to avoid some in order to control the law and order, or it may be drugs or because of the health of the citizens of the country, or it may be because of any other business reasons, in order to encourage our domestic producers, domestic industrialists. In order to do this, so the government has prohibited some goods to export also or to import also. For example, when there is a demand for in our own country only, so if the export happening, so the demand for our own country, the inflation for that particular product will increasing. So in order to avoid that, the government will prohibit the export of that particular product. For example, if the goods which we are importing is harmful for our own citizens, then the government will prohibit the import of that particular product. For example, drugs we may take or any other products, in order to reduce the harm or in order to control the harm from that particular product. It may be our own industrialists, our citizens, health of our country people. So in order to avoid these things, the government will prohibit the goods. Next point, warehouses. So warehouses where we store the goods. So public warehouses appointed under the section 57 or the private warehouses licensed under the section 58. A warehouses therefore is a designated area where goods allowed to be stored, landing without the payment of duty. So without payment of any duty, they can store some goods for some time. Next point, foreign going vessels. So foreign going vessels means our vessels, or it may be sea vessels or any other aircraft which is going for the foreign or to transport the goods to foreign. That's what foreign going vessels. So vessels or aircraft or carriage of goods, passengers between any port, airport in India and any port, airport outside India, whether touching any international locations or not. So when we sending the goods to other country, those vessels, those carriers of the goods, then it is called as foreign going vessels. Next point, merits of custom duty. What are the importance and merits of custom? What are the advantages of custom duty? You will be having 5 marks question, 10 marks question, merits and demerits of custom duty. First point, an important source of revenue for the central government. So because of custom duty, by levying the custom duty, the government will get the benefits, government will get the income for the development purpose. Next point, so import duty protects the domestic industries. So for example, cement industry, in our country only we are getting cement for 400 rupees per bag. Per bag of cement is 400 rupees. But China cement, they are ready to give 100 rupees per bag, 100 rupees per bag. Are understanding? So this leads to damage for our production, cement production in our country, because the customers will purchase the China cement only because it is very cheap, and also in order to avoid the dumping. So China will start to dumping the products. So where they are producing, excess production is there, they start to dump those products in our country in order to destabilize our production, destabilize our domestic producers. So in this case, the government will levy custom duty. So more charges will be applicable in order to, and also government will levy 300 rupees custom duty on this. The actual price of the goods is 100 rupees per bag. Now government will add duty to the extent of 300%, then it will become 400 rupees. So then both the items will be 400 rupees only. So in order to make the price equal, the government will levy custom duty. Next one, reduce the deficit in balance of payment, trade and balance of payment. So balance of trade and balance of payment. So if the custom duty is not levied, the citizens of the country will start to purchase cheaper product from other country only. Then it leads to increase in the import and it affects to reduction of export. So when import increases than export, it leads to balance of payment and balance of trade. So we have to pay in their own currency, in the foreign currency only we have to pay. So then we will not having their currency or deposits of their currency. Then it leads to balance of payment, deficit of in balance of payment, deficit in trade, balance of trade. In order to avoid these things, in order to encourage the export and discourage the import, the custom duty will be levied. Next point, import duty controls the smuggling when the import duty is lower. So also when the custom duty, when you levy the custom duty and when you have the custom tariff and customs departments, they will check all the goods, all the articles, all the products what we are importing every day. So it leads to, we can avoid the drugs, of supply of drugs, supply of any other narcotics, supply of any other harmful products for our country. So if we don't have custom department, so there will be no checking, proper checking will be not there in the port or maybe sea port or land port or any other port. We don't have any checking points, so it leads to increase in the smuggling. It leads to increase in the smuggling, and also any harmful products will be imported. So when you have custom department, so it will check every products and all the goods whatever we importing. So it is easy for the government to find out any harmful products are there. Next point, reduce the export of some goods which are scarcity in our country. For example, so by levying more custom duty on export, when government will going to levy the tax on export, so when there is a scarcity for that product in our own country, our country citizens are exporting those goods for because of higher profit in other country. So in order to match the demand, in order to reduce the demand in our country and reduce the scarcity, the government will levy more custom duty on export, sometimes export. Next one, foreign exchange can be saved by restricting the import. What do you mean foreign exchange? So when you import the goods, we have to pay the amount in their own currency, in the foreign currency only. So when import increases and export decreases, it leads to balance of payment. The exchange foreign reserve will be reduced in the country. So when the foreign reserve is reduced, so we have to, it leads to value of the currency will be reduced because of the import increases, value of our currency will be reduced. So in order to avoid these things, so the customs duty will be imposed. So foreign country to making them costlier. So what, by levying the custom duty, the product of that, for example, for 100 rupees, for 100 crore rupees car, I want to purchase 100 crore rupees worth of car. So when I purchase the 100 crore rupees worth of car from the USA, I have to pay in US dollar only. I cannot pay Indian rupees. So if the government of India or the bank which importing which is helping the importer to purchase 100 crores worth of rupees car, so we have to pay the amount in the US currency only. It leads to reduction in the foreign reserves. So the foreign reserves reduced means, so our value for our money will be reduced, value for our Indian currency will be reduced when the import is increases. That's why in order to avoid these things, so customs duty will be imposed. Next point, demerits of custom duty. What are the demerits of custom duty? So imposing of higher custom duty or taxes increases the black money. So when you impose more tax, when you impose more regulations, restrictions, so the citizens of our country start to look for any other alternative methods. So this leads to use of the black money and also other mischievous activity, fraudulent activity. Next point, better quality of goods will not be available. For example, even though we are getting good quality of cement in China because of the because to protect our domestic productions of cement. So the government of India is imposing more tax on Chinese cement. So what it happens, the customers has to bear higher price even though we are getting cheaper materials, good quality materials from other country. So because of the custom duty, the customers of our country are paying higher amount even though we are getting cheaper and quality amount, good quality amount, and because of in order to scarcity of our resource in our country, so the production of demand is costlier than compared to China. But we have to purchase the Indian cement only. Why? Because the custom duty is more for China cement, even though it is cheaper, even though it is good quality. It may be not only China, it may be USA, even though we can get very good or very improved technology from USA. But because of custom duty, we cannot purchase those products, improved maybe quality wise, superior quality, superior quantity, superior good products we cannot purchase because of the custom duty. So because government of India is encouraging the domestic production. But even though it is a good thing, encouraging the domestic production, as a customer, if I think as a customer, why I should pay more amount or more price for the lesser quality product, even though I am getting from other country, even though I am getting cheaper product, qualitative product, technologically advanced product, the government of India, because of the rules and regulations of the government, so we are paying higher price. Customers has to bear the price. So to prohibition or imposition of higher customs duty on foreign goods. Next point, complex procedure of customs laws makes a service professionals and requires special advisors to technical exports. So the rules, regulations and the steps what we follow in imposing the custom duty. So we have 7 to 8 types of custom duty. Safeguard duty is there, dumping duty is there. Understanding, we have so many types of cess is there, education cess was there. Because of the rigid system, complexity is more compared to other duty. So tax on tax is there, that is called a cess. Education cess is there, social welfare charges is there. So because of the rigid system, it is very difficult to follow the custom duty. Next one, imposing higher custom duty makes the goods costlier for the customers. So even though we are getting good products in the other country, because of the custom duty, we are paying more amount for even though our country's production is not quality enough compared to other countries' products, but we are paying more amount because of the scarcity of resource. But even though scarcity is there, if you want to purchase from other country, but we have to pay the more custom duty. For example, 200% custom duty, sometimes 300% custom, sometimes 500%. In order to match the cost of the products to our domestic products. For example, a bike price is 1 lakh rupees in our country. 1 lakh rupees in our country. Same very good quality of bike is 50,000 in the China. In China, same quality bike with superior quality, superior technology, superior mileage, we can get the bike for 50,000. But what government will do? So if the custom duty is not levied, all customers will start to purchase the Chinese product only. It leads to import increases, export decreases, and also it leads to reduction in the value of our currency, and also difference in the balance of payment and balance of trade. So government of India what will do? It will impose 100% custom duty. So 100% means add more 50,000 rupees more, it will become 1 lakh rupees. The government of India will match both the price, domestic price and foreign price will be equal. Sometimes it will add 200%, it will become 1,50,000. It will become 1,50,000. So then the customers will prefer domestic product only. So when the customers will prefer domestic product, so domestic production will increases. Domestic industrialists will develop. Ultimately, they will get the jobs in the domestic or in our country. People will get the job. This is the intention of the government. But even though it is good intention, ultimately customers who is purchasing the Chinese product will has to bear the price. So this is how demerits. So in the next session, we will discuss on notified products and specified products, prohibition of the importation and exportation, reason for prohibition, and also prohibited goods. What are the list of prohibited goods will be discussed in the next session. Till then, thank you so much.